In Fighting Words news, submitted by Stella from Phoenix Online.
Stella.
This is the one question you should never ask your partner. Ooh.
Do I look fat?
No.
I taught him well.
No,
Before
you
he used to say
Wait,
yes.
is that the question you're supposed to ask your partner?
Yeah.
Oh.
But before he used to say yes.
So you're not
And
supposed
I
to ask me anymore.
You're not supposed to ask.
Yeah. Fuck. Well, no, we're both learning.
I see.
You can't say yeah?
No.
You can't tell the truth.
The problem is that Bart told, yeah.
Yeah.
That is the yeah, he did.
I learned to always lie now.
Please.
So the question that we're talking about here is, are you mad at me?
Never.
Oh God, that's his
You know
fucking
why?
question every fucking day.
You know why? It sounds pussy as fuck.
Yes.
Oh.
Every day he
It says,
asks.
are you mad at me? It's like, oh.
But girls could say it
Girls
though.
ask, no. No one should ask this to their partner,
You know
period.
why I asked though? The reason why I ask is because she looks really pissed. So I just want to know if I fucked up or not.
Guess what? She is.
Hold on, I got an answer for you.
No, I should.
No, I'm not. I just have a fucked up face.
RBF. It's an RBF.
Bart, I'm gonna help you.
Help me, please. Help me.
So,
need a lot of
you, in your experience, listen, for you, you're asking that question because you feel that you are trying to get to the bottom of what's going on with her and like what's happening. I'm concerned for you.
Yes,
right?
yes.
But the way that is translated is
You make it about you.
you're making it about you.
I literally
you know the
replied
shit.
that to you.
You know the
I
shit.
told you, I'm like, can you stop asking it like that? Because you're just.
Are you mad at me?
Exactly.
Like
so
you-
you're saying
Are you mad at me right now?
Are you doing
No,
something?
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
I care about what you're doing to me, is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And not what's going on with you, how are you, what can I do?
yourself the subject.
See, you know how to be a good human.
So you're prioritizing yourself and your feelings over finding out what's happening with your partner.
See?
Yes.
That's what's happening here.
This
So
is
it's
stuff they need to fucking teach you in school.
passively selfish
Yeah.
and it's aggressively annoying.
I see.
We teach that on our podcast all the time.
Yep.
Comes up a lot in advice questions.
So what's happening here is it's an emotional self-centeredness masquerading as concern.
He thinks you're just talking to him.
I really am.
It's no different than, where are you? I was looking for you. You didn't tell me where you were. I didn't know if you were safe. You're making it about you. All this bullshit.
Yeah.
You're acting fake concern for them, but you really just want to keep tabs on them.
Exactly. So then the last thing anyone wants to do is have to deal with more emotional labor when they're already going through their own
Explain this shit
shit.
to you,
Yeah.
fuckface. Let me fucking chill.
I don't want to explain myself.
Yes.
So you end up having to coddle someone while you're pissed.
All the time. I tell him this all the time.
No, you don't.
He's a big bitch.
You don't explain any of this stuff.
Ask her,
Are you okay?
that's actually what they're writing here. So instead, here's some options.
Because it makes it about them.
Yeah.
You can ask, is everything okay? Am I right in sensing that something is on your mind? How are you really?
Those are beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah,
Those
so
are beautiful.
that's what they're saying. So like, you're asking your partner to assure you that you are not in trouble first undermines their feelings by prioritizing your fragile ego over them.
And that's the root.
Because it's like, hey, I feel guilty. Can you give me reassurance that I'm not
Instead
wrong?
of like, I actually care about what's happening with you.
Right.
Hi,
can
I
that.
see you're upset. Can you coddle me, please?
Yes.
I see.
So then you end up having to service someone while you're pissed instead of being serviced.
But then you do this bullshit where it's like, I just asked if she's mad at me, and then she got mad at me.
Yeah.
Can you sit backwards on that chair so people see Steve Iceman?
Oh, I didn't even notice.
He's too cool.
I didn't even notice.
He's ice cold.
They're also saying that by being genuinely invested in their feelings and being patient enough to try to discover what's happening, that is so attractive and that will help your relationship by like times a million because you're showing that you're there for your partner. It's a partnership, not instead of being like, can you service me and my ego right now?
Thanks for teaching me all this.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Could have used it like 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
What's crazy is I've told them this so many different
Not in this articulate way.
How you not articulate?
Like, I can't help you forever, Bart. Like, what's happening?
I've literally said, so you want me to get out of how I feel so I can figure out how you feel and make you feel better is what I've literally told
But when
you.
you say that, I'm like, I'm gonna get it.
Can I predict what Bart said to that? He's like, yeah.
No, you know what he says? He's like, you're supposed to be more emotionally intelligent than me. You should be teaching me.
That is a yeah.
It's your responsibility as a more emotionally intelligent person to put your emotions on hold to fix my emotions.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I know I'm emotionally dumb. So I'm like, if it comes to other shit that I know, I'm like, hey, you follow me, but this shit I'm trying to learn, so I'll follow you.
Yeah. You follow me, I'll teach you how to not be fat because I know how to work out.
Learning, Bart, that's you saying do it for me.
Right.
I don't want to learn, you do it for me.
I do want to learn though.
He does want to
So
learn.
that's why I'm learning. That's
He
what he
does.
told me. I'm like,
But the way he's vocalizing it is not. Yeah.
But I'm a fucking badass. Look at what I gotta. But he's doing good. We're doing good.
I don't think anyone's like, oh, wow, yeah, you're right, I want him now.
What they see is a baby who can walk now.
barely, dude. I'm learning. Sometimes I still fall. Every 5 steps.
But what's dope is he's always down to do the work, and he puts in the work.
true.
So that's the only thing that matters. Because if he didn't put in the work, I fucking hate him.
He was against it and arguing with you. Like, that's completely different than someone who's willing to learn, but he just doesn't have the tools because he didn't grow up with it.
Right.
I think that's why it's really charming, but also it sucks to be his wife.
It doesn't. It's hard.
It must suck to be your
It's hard.
Because it's because I'm kind of like I was in the same boat, like, and I still am, where like it's just a lot of things I didn't grow with. It doesn't come second nature.
Yeah.
And it's not that I'm incapable of understanding this social dynamic or feeling or communication style. It's just not ever present in my life or never was used.
It's not the tip of your tongue.
No, so then
It's like a brand new language we learn when we hit 30 something.
It's almost like being a part of a whole different culture, and other people might have normal like cultural mores or like ways of communicating where you speak that language, so you expect that people understand this, and when someone doesn't, you start looking down at them. And I think that's the hard part, is when people start looking down at you for not knowing you should know already, all these things.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Then it prevents you from even trying because it's scary.
That's true.
Yeah.
So then that's where the pride kind of comes up, or like, oh, well, people are weak and emotional anyway.
Dude, you know what's crazy? I'm gonna share with you. So recently, I had like this epiphany where
Epiphany Tiffany. Here we go, 2020, a new you.
dude,
do it.
and dude, it's been amazing. So my epiphany was that in our marriage, because Casey's behind the camera, in our marriage, in our entire relationship, we have had a lot of like turbulence.
Oh yeah.
A lot. And it's
A lot of couples have.
And it's been a lot of like,
Can't
for
relate.
sure, a lot of couples.
I'm playing.
No, hold on. So let me explain. So we have had a lot of like turbulence, right? And it's been this whole time of like one side being the one that's kind of like causing it, and then the other side being the, are you fucking serious? This is happening again?
Which means
I wonder who's who in this as you tell the story.
What ends up happening is the one that's saying, are you fucking serious? This is happening again, ends up becoming very entitled in the relationship. And then what ends up happening is that once that entitlement is there, then the other person ends up being like, well, oh shit, I'm doing this, oh fuck, well let me try to get better, and then the entitlement kicks in and it's like, oh, so now you want to get better? So that's not gonna help, and that's actually what I realized what was happening with us.
That's tight.
And then so like, I was like, oh shit, this is where I've been fucking up in the equation.
That's awesome.
And so I've been more mindful of being more like supportive and nurturing instead of being like, well, what the fuck, you should know this. Like what you were saying.
yeah. Well, here's the thing though. It's a script that you tell yourself and perspective that you create of other human beings. So like over time, there's resentment and baggage that we create toward each other and ourselves, right?
Yeah.
So Bart has a script right now that says, I am unemotional, I am this, I am whatever, right? Which it's not the case, because there are cases where he acts out of a certain way and he can be that way, right? But in that specific situation, we all go back to our script, where I started to believe that, oh, I don't have empathy, I don't have this, I'm incapable of being romantic, which is completely wrong.
You branded
because
yourself.
Yeah.
Right, because I am capable of those feelings in the right situation, and I can express these things, and I can do these things and understand them. Like in your situation, I'm guilty of what Bart did exactly, but seeing from the outside, I'm like, oh yeah, I totally get what's going on there. In that situation, you have to be more loving and not self-serving. You have to be more about them. It's easy to do, but there's a routine that you guys created in your relationship where you go back to that default. And it's like, that's your role, this is my role. So,
yes, it's true.
Right, so then I realized that, oh fuck, dude, like we all are fluid and capable of being these other things, but once you write yourself or you have an image of someone, that becomes them.
Or it's your excuse too.
It's your excuse, yeah. So then we have to try our best not to look at our partner the same exact way, even when in friendships or whatever, right? And give people a chance to learn and do better each time.
And being empathetic is like a huge thing, because once you have that empathy, it's like, oh, well, I see that you're trying, so why am I gonna push you further away from?
It's because you're hurt.
Yeah, exactly, because then that's the self-serving part.
Yeah, because I'm hurt first, you did it again, you violated my heart.
Steve can be a water drinker. If you like, I keep putting him in a box of not a person that drinks water.
Yeah.
And you take him out of that box, and then maybe he can drink that water and prove me wrong.
Being a good boy, he has 3.
He drinks so much water, he's gonna become the Iceman one day.
I am the Iceman now. What are you talking
No,
about?
you need water to be ice.
You guys are so jealous just because I have a cool nickname and you guys didn't have one.
You overheat every night because you don't have enough water.
How do I sweat if I have no water in me?
Oh yeah. He will eventually not overheat at night.
I've never seen anyone more jealous that they don't have a cool nickname.
And so this is so going back to where I came up with this epiphany, right? Is like, check this out.
You had one too.
So yes, Epiphany Joe. Okay.
Joe Epiphany.
So why is it that so we're not being fake when we act differently in different situations? Nope. This is all different aspects of who we are. So for example, in a job interview, we're acting job interview Joe, right? In JK News Joe, or fucking like when we're with our significant other, we have a different face for each occasion. And some people will say, you're being a fraud with multiple different facets. That's not who you are, but it actually is who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
And some people bring out the best in you, and some people bring out the worst in you. So some people might make you out of character where you're like this super fucking romantic person, and other people might completely make you a hateful, angry person or whatever it is, right? So that's when I was like, oh shit, everyone's capable of expressing and learning and doing these different things, but it depends on the role that you start to create and solidify within that dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like I've been saying, you can brand yourself, and then you can also fall back on your own brand as an excuse for why you'll never change. But that's the mistake, right? Yeah. Instead of treating people like three-dimensional human beings who are capable of change and who are capable...
You kind of write it off like, oh, this person's always this anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. And then it's just there, you're writing them off, literally writing them off.
Yeah, and you're not dealing with it.
Exactly.
But most things that I think stay constant is that people are fucking idiots.